Is Nigeria broke?
Nigeria is broke, but redeemable.
We are trying to make the distinction for us.
Yes. Very, very broke. If you look at the numbers, I laugh when people try to draw this debt to GDP analogy in equating Nigerian economy to that of the other developed economies. Look at the budget performance of 2021. We spent 2.96 trillion naira servicing existing debt. As at the first quarter of 2022, we've already spent 896 billion. If you project it, we'll be spending about 3.56 trillion in 2022 servicing our debt services. Now, if you look at that budget, it's predicated on a 6.25 trillion naira budget deficit, which will require fresh borrowing outside the 40-something trillion that we already have in existence. And I look at it critically. We have 6.86 trillion naira recurrent expenditure. Out of this 6.86 trillion, 4.11 trillion is supposed to be used to take care of less than 900,000 Nigerians, the political office holders, and the civil servants. Juxtapose this, you will see clearly that if you add 6.86 trillion to the projected 3.56 trillion, we have over 10.3 trillion naira that we're going to be wasting in debt and non-debt recurrent expenditure in a country based on the past budget performance that may not generate up to 6 trillion naira in both oil and non-oil revenue. So critically, anybody telling you that they are borrowing to fund capital expenditure is deceiving us, because even the accountant general, the new accelerator, clearly they were borrowing to pay salary. If you look at it critically, if our revenue profile based on past budget performances is about 5.5 to 6 trillion, and we're going to be spending 10.3 trillion naira on debt and non-debt recurrent expenditure, not capital project. That simply means from the day one, we have a 4 trillion naira deficit on recurrent expenditure that is not on capital project. This is not sustainable.
Is this an error in judgment, or is this something that we can blame the system or personalities for?
Both the system and on leadership. Let us be very honest. I was discussing with somebody that said Nigeria is like that drunken seller whose father left an asset, a palm plantation worth about 1.8 trillion, 1.8 billion. Rather than go to Clay to harvest it to produce, he's at Ojuelegba loading buses. That is the kind of, let me tell you, this country has huge potentials.
Or you can say that it's like a drunken sailor whose father has a plantation of where you drink palm. Is it palm?
Palmy, yes.
Palmy.
Raffia palm.
Raffia palm.
Yes.
The plantation is there.
Massive, 1,000 hectares.
And with that plantation, rather than sell it, it is drinking
the wine.
Just drinking the wine.
Just drinking the wine.
And then when any tree dies, he allows it to die.
God bless
then
you,
goes to the next tree, drinks it to
God bless you, Sam.
And then
So
at the end of the day, he has left, the father gave him a plantation, he has now left it a desert.
Exactly. This is a country with huge potential. Let me tell you, it's very simple. The 6.8 trillion that we waste on recurrent expenditure can actually be cut down by 60%.
How?
Very simple. 4.1 trillion is for the salaries and wages and pensions. The remaining 2-point-something trillion is the profligacy and corruption, travel expenses, newspapers, and whatever that can be cut down.
Medical trips.
Medical trips. Convoy of 1,000 vehicles for those officials that are not supposed to be so.
Yeah, for instance, we're just discussing the problem with the Chief Justice, right, and so on. One of their problems is actually one of these foreign trips that, it's like the Chief Justice goes on his own foreign trip. Where's our own foreign trip?
Exactly. And you look at it critically. This is an economy that has potentials. What we have is not, we have two major problems in Nigeria. The issue of atrocious, huge cost of governance, and the issue of depleting revenue that can be ramped up. We talk about, look at South Africa. South Africa debt to GDP is about 78%. They do know why they are not bothered. Their total external revenue debt is about $175 billion. But South Africa annually generates about $106 to $110 billion. Less than 55 million population. Look at Singapore. Look at Dubai, that Arab Emirates. You will see the problem is not even the debt. What are you borrowing to invest in? Egypt has debt to about 85%, but they are ramping up revenue. Nigeria has the capacity annually to generate over $200 billion, even from non-oil revenues. We've done analysis, we've done sectorial analysis, sector by sector, from maritime to transportation, to aviation, to agri. Netherlands, 43,000 square kilometers. Half of the year is spent under snow and winter. Nigeria, Niger State has 2 times the land mass of Netherlands. Benue State, Oyo, in fact, Oyo State and Benue State, Ocean and Benue put together, can generate twice what Netherlands generates.
He said the gold in Zamfara alone can make Zamfara look like Dubai.
Exactly.
That's what he said.
And
Gold in Zamfara alone.
And most of
I heard people are just killing themselves there on top of
I asked this question.
Illegal refining.
Why do you think the oil and gas industry upstream is coordinated? Because of the structure. I gave an illustration. If you bring in a Barrat Gold, one of the biggest gold mining companies that has revenue of about $10 billion annually, we do the same thing we are doing with oil, with gold and solid minerals. Allocate land to those people that have capacity. I tell you, from the solid mineral alone, we can triple what we make from crude oil.